going on? Gonna do a quick video here. I normally don't do these types of videos, but since this video here was requested, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Now, I'm gonna say this, like, this is how I fish it, and this is how I fish these particular lures. Now, they might work for me, but they might not work for you, depending, you know, we're fishing different bodies of water, different locations, different parts of the country. And like I said, this is just the way I fish it, and just want to give y'all kind of the basics of each type of lure. I'm gonna be talking about three types of jigs. Someone asked me to do a video explaining the jigs, so this is my version. Okay. Now, first, there's three types of jigs that I'm gonna talk about today. I'm gonna talk about the finesse jig, which is this one. Then there's the football jigs, which are these two, and then the swim jig. Now, all these jigs, they are from Santone Lures. If y'all want, y'all can check them out at santonelures.com. Check them out. That's where I get all my jig spinner baits from. They're a Texas-based company, and their customer service is is really good, above and beyond. So first of all, I'm gonna start off with the finesse jig. It's a smaller jig, small little profile on it. This one here, I believe the color is Mexican Heather. It's one of the new colors that it's not a new color, but they just started making these in the finesse jig style. Now, what I like to do with the finesse jig, I like to pair these up with creature baits, anything from a crawfish to a baby brush hog to maybe like a pit boss or something, that type of design, you know, the beavers or something like that. And you know, the zoom speed crawl, the ones I throw a lot, fit on here really nice. But what I've been doing lately is taking a sticko. If you go to Bass Pro Shop, they have these little they're like I wish I had them here, but they're like a small like a Yumdinger type worm, and when you put it on the back of the worm, it sticks out about that much. So it's a really good lure for the trailer. And but with the finesse jig, what I like to do with these, I like to pitch these anywhere from underneath trees, underneath you know, little docks, boat ramps, into structure. If there's timber in the water or anything like that, you know, I'll try to pitch this in and around it. And as you can see, it's a smaller profile, so it's a really good lure. I like it, and these are really good to fish when you're on a body of water that gets a lot of pressure. I'm sure a lot of people are not throwing jigs, and the finesse jig is a good lure to throw. And I like to fish these shallow, anywhere between 2 feet of water all the way up to probably about 9-10 feet maybe. But that's a good lure right there. Like I said, it's a perfect lure for you know, heavy pressured water, bodies of water. I'm sure not a lot of people are fishing the jigs. So that's the finesse jig. Like I said, I like to pair it up with creature baits, or you know, a worm, half a Yumdinger or do. So that's a pretty good lure. And you know, I like to fish it shallow. Has a nice weed guard on there too, but it's not that strong, but it's strong enough to keep you from getting snagged, but you know, it's not strong enough to keep a fish from hitting. So that's the finesse jig. Okay, now next I'm going to talk about something that's similar to the finesse jig, but it's different in its own right, and that's going to be the swim jig. Now the swim jig, I personally like to pair this with a swim type lure, paddle tail, anything with a paddle tail on it, you know, swim type. Now what I do with mine, I like to throw this in grass, where there's grass, hydrilla, or any kind of vegetation in the water. If you're fishing a lake that's flooded, this would be pretty nice to throw, because I'll throw this right into the grass. And as you can see, the head on there is different from the finesse jig, which is round, and this one's more of a diamond shape, so it'll pull through that grass pretty easily. And then you have your weed guard that'll keep you from getting snagged. But I'll throw this up in some grass and just rip it through that grass and swim it through that grass and try to get some strikes. That's a really good looking color right there. That's called the acid perch. It's a good lure to throw in vegetation. And with this, what I'll do, I'll just swim it along, and I'll swim it and kind of just kill it and let it drop, and then pop it up and start swimming it again. And then I also like to cast it out and kind of pop my reel and have this just kind of hopping along, and then like I'll kill it and just let it drop, and then usually you'll get a strike. And that's the swim jig. Okay, now the next one I'm gonna talk about is the football jig. And the football jig, this is probably one of my favorites, black and blue. I like black and blue in most lure colors anyways. But the football jig, if you can look at the jig head here, it has a football shape. Now what that does, it gives it a different type of action. So when you're pulling it along the bottom, it's like it'll wobble, it'll give it a weird roll to it, and it'll never just come straight because of the head on here. It's kind of like a football. If you ever had a football and you rolled it, it doesn't just roll straight, it'll wobble while it rolls. Now the football jig, I like to fish this deep, anywhere from 10 feet to 18 feet of water. And these I like to pair with a crawfish, a big crawfish that'll give it a bigger profile. If you can see, that skirt's already pretty nice size skirt on it. So what I'll do with the football jig, I'll just cast it out, let it hit the water, and then just drag it along and let the jig head do all the work. It'll hit things and it'll just wobble as it goes. Now you want to keep this in contact with the floor the whole time. This one, I don't pop it, I don't nothing. I cast it out, let it hit, and I'll just drag it along. Just drag it along, let it hit anything that's down there. You come across a tree stump or a rock, that's about the only time you want to pop that. But as soon as you come up over, you just want to let it drop right back down, and probably just let it sit for maybe a few seconds, and then get back to just dragging it. Now you don't ever want to just do the same thing. I don't. I'll do long drags, I'll do short drags, I'll do a couple small drags and stop, and just let the lure let the jig do the work for you. Now, like I said, the football jig is something that you want to fish in deep water, and a good technique is to find where there's a ledge or a drop off, cast up onto the drop off and work it over the ledge and let it come down. So if this is a ledge here, you want to drop it on there, and then you just want to work it down into the deeper body of water and let the fish do the work. Now those are 3 types of jigs. Like I said, you got your football jigs with the head on them, really good. And these Santone lures, they have these little rattles on them, so they give you an extra little help while it's down there on the bottom of the lake. Then you have your swim jigs, which I'll swim in and around docks, definitely in grass. That's like one of my main things. I'll throw this in some grass, because the grass is like a haven for small fish, bugs, tadpoles, mosquito larvae, anything. The bass are going to be hanging around there, and you throw this jig in there and just swim it through. And if you do get snagged on some grass, just kind of rip it out and then let it drop. And usually when you're ripping it through that grass, you'll get a strike on that. So that's the swim jig. And then my favorite, one of my favorites, the finesse jig. Like I was saying, you can throw this anywhere from 2 to 10 feet of water, around structure, underneath trees, underneath bridges, underneath boat docks, just anything, good little profile in there. And like I said, the finesse jig is a smaller profile. And with all these jigs, guys, this is just the way I fish them, my technique. You'll have to find your own way on fishing them and find what works for you. But these are all really good lures to use, because like I was saying, most people aren't fishing jigs. They're fishing crankbaits, they're fishing plastics, Texas rigged, drop shots, or stuff like that. And they seem to forget about the jig. The jig will put in work for you guys. So that's my take on jigs. Like I said, I really don't do these types of videos, but like I said, this one was requested, so I went ahead and did this video, and hopefully this will help y'all out. And if y'all have any questions or if y'all have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment section to help everybody else out, and just let them know how you fish a jig, or what kind of trailer you think would be best. So with that being said, guys, I'd like to thank everybody for watching the video. I really appreciate the support, and like I said, I hope this helps y'all. And if there's any other kind of videos y'all want me to do, or kind of touch on the subject, let me know, and I'll go ahead and do that for y'all. So until next time, guys, keep fishing tight lines.